Welcome to the Living in Sedona channel. I'm Cami. I'm a local real estate agent that serves Sedona and the Verde Valley area. And today on this video, we're going to be talking about what changes in you when Sedona becomes your home instead of your favorite vacation spot. We're getting started right now. When I was thinking about the title of this video, I was thinking about what changed in Greg and I over the last 3 years since we became locals and not tourists. Many of you know the story that it took us 12 years to get here. We were visitors for 12 years. And although after about the third, or I would say at least by the fifth time, I didn't really consider us to be visitors anymore. I actually felt like we were just visiting our second home, and I kind of knew the lay of the land. I knew what to expect. I knew where we were going, but we were still in vacation mode. And that's what Sedona is for a lot of people when they come here. They're in vacation mode. They come to conquer Sedona. They want to conquer Cathedral Rock and go to Devil's Bridge and eat out every night and do some stargazing and just, you do the fun things when you're here because that's what vacation is all about, right? Well, when you become a local, all of that changes. And not that you don't do it, because you do. It's one of the reasons you probably love Sedona. But there are a lot of things that change about you and about your activities of daily living while you're living here in Sedona. One of the biggest things that I get a kick out of when we are hiking is if we run into a visitor, which I love doing. I actually don't always try to avoid the crowds because I love talking with visitors. And one of the questions that we get asked a lot is, they ask us where we're from. And you guys, when we get to say, we live here, like, it is the best thing in the world. I love seeing people's reactions when we tell them that. It's not that I'm prideful about it. It's not that I feel, like I'm someone special. I do feel special because I get to enjoy this beautifulness all the time. But when I get to say, or when we get to say, we live here, the look on their faces is like, wow, that's amazing. And I'm like, it is. It's absolutely amazing. But they always follow that question up with, so do you hike every day? And the answer is no, we don't hike every day. But when you're a visitor, you pretty much hike every day because you want to see it all. You want to experience it all. But as a local, we actually don't hike every day because we have jobs and we have a life that we have to live while we're here. And so when we are enjoying the outdoors, that is one thing that the locals do differently than what the tourists do. We look for hiking times and days that are separate from the weekend and early mornings. So a lot of people get started early here. It's just because the sun is up early, and so we hike early before the crowds. Sometimes a midday hike is best called for if we are in tourist season because they're all eating lunch. So they're all off the trails. So we get to enjoy some peace and quiet while they're all having lunch. The other thing that I think that's interesting that people don't think about is the off-roading adventures that you get to enjoy as a tourist, that as a resident, you most likely will want to invest in either your own off-roading vehicle so you can, you don't have to rent one, or you have friends that have one that you get to tag along and enjoy. So that is something that I think is different in the way of enjoying the outdoors. One other thing that I like to mention here is that we also take really great pride in how well the trails are being maintained. So a lot of times when we know that tourist time is here, and a lot of people are going to be on a certain trail. Let's just use Cathedral Rock, Devil's Bridge, very popular trails. The locals stay off of that, not only because it's busy, but because it's overused. And we need to give those trails a rest time. You'll sometimes see signs that say, please stay off of this. We're trying to regrow the vegetation. And so we're very cognizant of the overuse of trails. And so that lets us get a chance to step away from that and see some other trails that aren't as popular. I asked Greg this morning, if you had to pick a trail that was your favorite trail outside of the busy ones that we like, because his favorite is Broken Arrow. We love Broken Arrow, and I love Cathedral Rock. The views are amazing. But when it's busy, we both like Sherman Mountain Vista because the views are absolutely amazing. Nobody is on that trail. I mean, you don't usually see anybody on that trail, and if you do, it's one person. So it's just a very, not very well, people don't go there a lot, so it's quiet. You get to enjoy the beauty of Sedona in a very peaceful way, and the views are absolutely amazing. So one of the other things that locals rearrange is that when you're a visitor, you eat out all the time, right? You've probably got some favorite restaurants right at the top of your list right now. Mine's the Hudson, but I don't go there during high season because guess what? I'm not getting in. And if I do want to eat there, then I have to go at a different hour of the day. So you're not eating out as much as you do as when you're a local, as you do when you're a visitor. A lot of the locals will find some of the restaurants that offer a local discount. I'm not going to tell you what they are because then you'll probably misuse it and then they'll take it away. If you want to know when you're a local, then I'll tell you, but I'm not going to put it out here on YouTube. The other thing is they go to Cottonwood. I will tell you, I don't like cheeseburgers, but Cheeseburgers in Cornville is a happening place, and a lot of locals like to go there for a burger. So, and I will even go there for a burger when I'm feeling it. And the owner's from Ohio, so, good things come from Ohio. All right, the second or third, maybe I'm on the third or fourth, I don't know, I've lost count. You might not think about this when you're here as a visitor, is the healthcare system. I know as a nurse practitioner, former nurse practitioner, I always like to know where the fastest ER was to get to the kid, like if the kids got hurt, like where are we heading? That's just me planning ahead. Sedona does have the ER here, but a lot of complaints that you probably have heard is the healthcare system here, and that's probably something that you don't think about as a tourist. But as a local, you need to think about it. And I wanted to really mention this today because I was a patient last week at the local hospital in Cottonwood. They get a lot of bad rap, and I think that the Northern Arizona healthcare is doing its very, very, very best to improve the healthcare system and the access to specialty areas here. And so I do see that happening. We've had lots of specialties come in, especially dermatology, cardiologists. I had to have a colonoscopy because, I'll turn 50 here this past year, but this wasn't my first one. Anyway, I was very nervous about having this, and I did my research and went in and told Greg that if something happens to me, investigate. But anyway, that didn't happen, obviously, because I'm still here. And you guys, you know what? The experience was actually very pleasant, very surprising. I felt very well taken care of, and everything went very well. I was watching how often they washed their hands, how often they checked my name and date of birth. I was checking all of those things that, healthcare people are supposed to be checking, and so I was very impressed with that. So just hang in there. I do feel like they are doing their very best to improve it, but be aware that if you need something like high energy healthcare wise, they are getting ready. We just found this out. They announced this at the Verde Valley Realtors Association. They are getting ready to put a new cancer center in Cottonwood, so that is coming. So I do believe it's going to be getting better. But if it's not better by the time you make Sedona home, just be aware that you might have to drive to Flagstaff or Phoenix for some of the big time specialty healthcare areas here as well. I think the biggest shift that you have as a local from a tourist is the lifestyle change. You don't almost expect it. It's very surprising. It was surprising to me. I honestly didn't think that, I was one of those people that would be okay in small town, calm, peaceful living. I actually think of a farm when I think about that, and I'm not really a farm girl. So I was surprised at how much I have learned to enjoy the stillness and the calmness that Sedona life offers. Sitting, having a cup of coffee, looking at these beautiful rocks is enjoyable to me. Going outside at night and looking up to the sky. Oh my gosh, if you have not done that as a tourist, do it when you're here. It's amazing, the galaxies that you can see, and just, I didn't know there were so many stars. The Bible talks about the stars are as numerous as the sand, but it is just amazing to me how many stars I can see out here, as opposed to other places that I've been. But that's been the real biggest thing for me. The biggest change for me is that I wasn't expecting to love that. And that was something that changed in me. And it's really made me realize, how materialistic I was, how many things I took for granted. And I just don't anymore. I just am so thankful to be here and to see that shift in what I feel is most important. And so I think that that's the biggest thing that I want you to be aware of. If you do make Sedona your home and not your favorite vacation spot, it's going to change you. And so be ready for that and welcome it, because trust me, it's probably for the better. All right, I would like to know what your favorite thing is in Sedona that you're most excited about from going from a tourist to a local. And maybe you already are hoping something's going to change for you in that transition. So I would love to know what that is. And I hope that I've given you some things to think about and get ready to expect as you probably are getting ready to think about making that transition. I love it here. I hope you do as well. We're getting ready to head into Thanksgiving, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hang in there till next week. Next week is a new video will be released on Thanksgiving Day. I wasn't going to do that, but I'm going to do that. And so I hope it's an encouragement to you. Make it a great day at living in Sedona, and I will see you next week.